You've heard it before, money makes money, or the rich get richer. But what if I told you there's a secret behind why this is more true than you think? In today's video, we'll explore why hitting the 100K milestone can boost your net worth and what you should focus on to push past that barrier. So why does your net worth explode once you hit 100K? Many people think it's all about access to better investments with bigger return, but there's more to it than that. Let's look at the real reason. The first reason has to do with the scale of your capital. Here's how reinvestment works with a 10% return. Invest $2,000 at 10%. After 1 year, you have $2,200, which means $200 profit. Invest $20,000 at 10%. After 1 year, you have $22,000, which means $2,000 profit, which is 10 times more than $2,000. Invest $200,000 at 10%. After 1 year, you have $220,000, which means $20,000 profit. As you can see, the larger your investment, the bigger your profit, even though the return rate and time are the same. Bigger investments lead to faster wealth growth because returns scale with the amount of money you're putting to work. The second reason is compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world. It's when you earn interest not just on your original investment, but also on the interest you've already made. Let's break it down. If you save a $1,000 a month at an 8% return, after 7 years, you'll have a $100,000. But to reach your second 100K, it takes just about 4 years because now you're earning interest on both your original 100K and the interest it's already accumulated. The more you invest and the longer you give it time, the faster your wealth compounds. The hardest part is starting, but once you hit 100K, compounding works in your favor. If you haven't hit 100K yet, here's what you need to focus on. 1. Increase the time you invest. Let's say you earn $60,000 a year and invest 20% of that, $12,000 annually. At an 8% return, in 23 years, you'll have around $730,000. But if you add just 4 more years, you'll have over $1 million. The key is time. Even if you don't have a 100K to start, every day you delay investing is a day lost. Time and compounding are your best friends. Think of it like a snowball rolling downhill. It gets faster and bigger the longer you roll it. 2. Increase how much you invest. It's not about having a huge lump sum to start. It's about consistently increasing how much you invest every month. Don't obsess over finding the perfect investment or getting a 1-2% higher return. The real driver is increasing the amount you invest. For example, if you invest $200 a month for 30 years at a 10% return, you'll end up with nearly $400,000. But if you can get an extra 2% return, you'll have $600,000. But instead of focusing just on returns, think about ways to earn more day to day, like negotiating your salary, starting a side hustle, or finding ways to invest more. If you double your monthly contribution, you could end up with $800,000. The key is to combine 2 things: increasing your earnings and investing over time. When you focus on both, you're not just working harder, you're working smarter. So if you don't have a 100K yet, start with what you have. Stay consistent. Focus on increasing your contributions and let compound interest work its magic. Before you know it, you'll be watching your wealth grow at an accelerated rate. You've probably heard the phrase, "the rich keep getting richer." But have you ever wondered why? Why does wealth seem to grow faster after someone hits a $100,000 in net worth? It's not just about getting access to better investments. It's about how money works once you reach a certain level. Today, we're breaking it all down step by step. If you haven't hit 100K yet, don't worry. I'll also show you exactly what you need to do to get there as fast as possible. So why does your net worth start growing so much faster after a 100K? There are 3 major reasons: the scale of your capital, the power of compound interest, the shift in your financial mindset. Let's go through them one by one. Once you have a larger amount of money invested, the same percentage return gives you bigger dollar gain. Let's look at a simple example. If you invest $2,000 at a 10% return, after 1 year, you'll have $2,200, a $200 profit. If you invest $20,000, that same 10% return will make you $2,000, 10 times more. If you invest $200,000, your profit is $20,000 in just 1 year. The percentage return is the same, but the actual dollar amount grows much faster as your capital increases. This is why the first 100K is the hardest. It takes time to build up your capital, but once you do, your money starts working for you in a much bigger way. The second reason is compound interest, what Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world. Here's how it works. If you save $1,000 a month at an 8% return, it takes about 7 years to reach $100,000. But guess how long it takes to go from 100K to 200K? Only about 4 years. And the third 100K, even faster. That's because now your money is earning interest not just on your original contributions, but also on the returns it has already made. The more money you have invested, the faster your wealth grows. This is why getting to 100K is so important. It's where compound interest really starts to take off. The third reason wealth accelerates is the psychological shift that happens when you reach 6 figures. Before hitting 100K, most people focus on saving, cutting expenses, budgeting, trying to spend less. But after hitting 6 figures, the mindset shifts from saving money to growing money. You stop worrying about saving a few dollars here and there and start thinking about how to invest more, how to earn more, and how to build long-term wealth. This shift is huge because instead of just working for money, you're now letting money work for you. Now, if you haven't reached a 100K yet, here's what you need to do to get there faster. First, start investing as early as possible. Let's say you earn $60,000 a year and invest 20% of it. That's $12,000 per year. At an 8% return, in 23 years, you'll have around $730,000. But if you invest for just 4 more years, you'll have over $1 million. The longer your money is invested, the more time it has to grow. This is why time is your most valuable asset. Second, increase how much you invest. A lot of people get caught up trying to find the perfect investment or chasing an extra 1 to 2% in return. But the biggest factor in building wealth is simply how much you invest. Here's an example. If you invest $200 a month at a 10% return, after 30 years, you'll have about $400,000. If you get a slightly better return of 12%, you'll have $600,000. But instead of just focusing on getting a higher return, what if you invested more money? If you double your investment to $400 a month, you could end up with $800,000 plus in the same time frame. So rather than spending time searching for the perfect stock or investment, focus on increasing how much you put in. That means looking for ways to earn more, negotiating a higher salary, starting a side hustle, or finding ways to add more income. So what can you do right now to hit your first 100K faster? Start investing now. Even if it's just $50 a month, start. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Increase your contributions. Find ways to cut unnecessary spending and invest that money instead. Automate your investments. Set up automatic transfers so you're consistently investing every month. Find ways to earn more. Whether it's asking for a raise, freelancing, or creating a side business, the more you earn, the more you can invest. Stay consistent. The market will go up and down, but staying invested over time is what builds wealth. Building wealth isn't about luck. It's about starting early, investing consistently, and letting time do the work. If you're not at a 100K yet, don't get discouraged. Just start. The first 100K is the hardest, but once you're there, your wealth starts to grow exponentially. What's your biggest takeaway from this? Are you working toward your first 100K, or have you already crossed that milestone? Let's talk about it in the comments.